Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
Previously, on Friday Night Quests, our heroes have discovered that the warrior plaguing the town of Narrowalk is a wronged soul, and now they seek to end the night's suffering. But to do this, they must cross through the Glimmerlock and into a soiled sea of sewage and scum. So you make your way back to the same place. Your rope is still tied to the apple tree, I assume.
Oh, I handed it to Quatra before. I didn't
that's
tie
right,
it
you
to the
didn't
apple
tie it
tree.
off. Well,
We can tie it off now.
yeah.
So we tie it off to the tree. All right. Well, I can tell you this. It's very cold. It's smells like terrible.
I slap myself a couple times and then I just dive in.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, wow. She wasn't tied to
Okay.
anything.
All right. Well, that's going to be dangerous.
I keep myself tied to the tree, give myself a lot of length based on where I knew where the iceberg was.
Okay.
And just right into the water.
Okay.
I'm going to take off my outer robes so that they'll be dry-ish when I get out.
Okay. Ivy?
That's smart.
I look at the lake.
Mm-hmm.
I take a deep breath, and I jump in.
Are you bringing your animals?
No.
Okay.
I'm leaving Gregory on the shore.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's hard to get poop out of those feathers, man.
for sure. Snuggles will never make it.
Okay.
He might die. That's true.
Yeah.
Everyone but Althea, go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw. Althea, I think because of the cold being the... No, you'd still be vulnerable to cold, wouldn't you?
I have resistance to fire, but it says nothing else.
Okay, then yeah, you still roll.
I would
Yeah.
say you would very much
I
have.
would actually
sure.
probably really hate it.
Yeah, so you do need to roll
So,
as well.
okay. A Constitution saving throw?
So everyone roll a Constitution saving
Okay.
throw.
I failed mine.
Okay.
I got a 6.
I got a 5.
Natch.
Good.
21.
Okay. Those of you who failed, you have a point of exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
You have disadvantage on ability checks.
All right.
And you all emerge into this gray, brackish liquid, this brown mountain ahead of you, and make your way towards the iceberg.
Does prestidigitation make us dry? Can it dry us?
It can, yeah.
Oh.
I do that on everyone.
Okay.
As we make our way on top of the iceberg.
Yes.
Yes, you can be clean and dry.
Cool. I do that.
I'm really glad you can do that.
Me too.
Wow.
And I'll heat up your clothes, too, if you want me to.
Sure.
Yeah, it's still freezing cold here.
Yeah, no, I hate it. Please do it.
By the way, that's the Jade Tower I was talking about.
That's
and
the
and I point to it.
you all see it in the distance.
That is really inefficient.
Is it like is it tall? Like really, really tall?
Make a perception check.
Yeah.
By the way,
Ooh.
the way I heat up things is I do a couple quick motions in the air, and then on the last motion, my index and my middle finger touch the item I want to warm. So
Okay.
I go like,
Nice.
and
pretty cool.
Like warmth spreads through the object.
That's awesome. What was your total on the perception?
18.
Okay. It was difficult to tell from your first time because there wasn't really any landmarks that you could use as reference.
There might have
really.
been poop in my face.
Now that you were like actually on the iceberg and you have a better sense of your bearings, you see that it is probably about 100 feet tall,
Ah,
and it's far from you.
very far.
Oh,
and
like it's-
it still looks jade.
It's made of jade. Yeah, it's more of a it's a little bit like the Washington Monument in terms of its design.
Is it blank like the Washington Monument, or does it have sigils or any like carvings or like a big like the House of Jim is here?
If anything's
this is
written,
his house.
if anything's written on it, it's too far away to see.
of a gym.
All right.
Great.
You can't see any. Can't see any windows or details.
Come on down to Jim's Town Jade Emporium. We got the best deal in Jade this side of the portal.
Don't write on the walls. All right. So
Yeah.
Okay. So is there any other distinguishable landmarks in this crazy gray area?
You see other sort of icebergs around, but they're pretty far off on the horizon.
Like, are we near a shore like we were before, or are we like
No.
in a massive, like almost endless lake?
You are in an endless sea of moving ice.
So we need to pull that rope out of the water and put something that can remind us this is the way out.
We can tie the rope to a chunk of ice on the iceberg.
But what will help us to find this same iceberg?
Well, we're on an iceberg. It's in this iceberg.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's
Because we
fine.
can see the footsteps, the ice footsteps coming from this one.
Yeah, they're pretty fresh.
Yeah. So we
Okay.
can basically take out a what do I have?
I have a quick little problem. I took 6 damage, so I'm at 13 now. Should I heal?
Maybe.
I can heal you.
Are you not feeling?
Yeah. Let
are you
me
not
let
feeling
me
super
let
good?
me
I
take
just
care of that for you.
Got hit.
I'll do cure wounds for you.
Oh, thank you.
So that's
Yeah.
1d8 unless you push it up to a second level spell. And it's plus your charisma modifier.
Charisma?
Your charisma.
You're down 6,
Yes.
and it also adds my charisma modifier, which is 3. So I feel pretty good
Yeah.
about just straight rolling it without
just-
pushing.
I also don't know if you have any other second level
I only
spell
rolled a 1.
slots.
Perfect. So I gave you. I do. I have 1 more. I only used detect thoughts.
Oh, that's right.
So you get 4 back.
Nice.
That's right,
Thank
because you finished the long rest before the fight.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
That's right.
That's why I was sleeping.
Smart.
All right. So I've used 1 level 1 spell and 1 level 2 spell. All right. Feeling better?
Feel much better. Thank you.
All right.
How much total did you get back?
4 points.
Nice.
And I said that in character.
Cool.
I feel 4 points better.
You guys ready to go inside?
19
Yep.
points healthy.
I turn into a giant goat.
Oh.
Okay.
Is that how you got into my room?
The goat looks sheepish.
Oh.
And then the world
Why?
explodes. And then a genie comes out like, "You solved my riddle. One good
That
pun."
was the word.
Cool.
So is there an entrance into this glacier?
There's just footsteps going up the glacier. As you walk and you follow them, you reach a point where you see a large chasm, probably about 20 feet before you have to get to the next part of the iceberg. And below it, you can see this frozen skeletal shark is embedded in the ice wall and is moving slowly and like gnashing its teeth.
Oh, man.
A skeletal shark?
Like bits of flesh still clinging to it.
And it's alive.
well, that maybe isn't the word, but it's animated.
And this shark is like swimming through the ice of the wall.
No, it's frozen in the wall. It's like embedded below the ravine.
but it's gnashing its teeth as if it's still alive.
Yeah.
Do we see the body of a knight anywhere?
No.
So remember when I said that the spirit leaves the body when you die?
Right.
I might have been slightly wrong.
I think you might have been a little off.
That's moving still.
You can also see some footprints on the other side of the chasm. That's apparently where it came from.
Is there only one way past the shark?
From what you can tell, over it.
Over it.
It's below. It's down in the ravine below you, like this little crack, this crevice.
Okay.
Now, I'm not familiar with this place where we are, but now that we've been here a little bit longer, Althea, Ivy, Quatra, do either of you know where we are?
No idea.
Because this is the second thing I've seen that is undead. That this place must be something unique.
Can I roll a knowledge of any sort?
Sure, go for it.
What, Ivy know?
I don't know which one.
Call it Arcana.
Okay. 12.
You don't know of anywhere where death is absent.
Okay.
You know there are a few places in the world this could be. It could be very far north or very far south.
Okay.
It's also possible that you're in another plane.
Okay.
This could be the plane of water.
Interesting. Why? Because there's only water as far as the eye can see?
Yeah, that was your main tip-off, that that's a
Okay.
possibility.
One of the things I know about the plane of water is it's mostly water, not air.
You would probably be right at the place. I mean, presumably, if that's the case, you're
Yeah.
probably at the point where it meets the
Elemental
plane of air. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
because it's possible that this goes on.
I see.
It depends. You haven't seen the ocean floor.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you have that, then if the ocean floor is not
Right.
a trillion miles away,
Yeah, yeah.
then you're in the material plane.
I say that.
Wow, that was very okay.
Okay.
We could be in the plane of water.
Sit
Why-
down, children. I have more to
Interesting.
tell you.
So this area is
Really
this
don't
is
like this place.
really unsettling. Yeah, we should try to find this body and get out of here.
Yep.
The goat nods.
So we keep moving. What do we see the further we go?
Well, you have to get past the ravine.
Oh, it's a big so there's
It's
a
Oh.
it's a break in the ice.
how far is it?
20 feet.
Oh. Okay.
How far can goats jump?
I have this thing called sure-footed as a goat, where I have advantage on strength and dexterity saving throws made against things that would knock it prone. I feel like I could argue that, like, goats can climb sideways on walls.
I would give you advantage on the roll and disadvantage because it's icy, so you'd be a flat roll,
Okay.
which is better than most of you will have.
Okay.
You're also giant, which means it is a lower DC for you.
Oh, you're a giant goat.
I'm large.
Oh,
I'm
awesome.
I'm a large ass goat.
So you're like 10 feet tall.
I reach into my rusty colored pouch
Okay.
and take out a fuzzy ball.
You have one more for the day.
Yup, and I drop it on the ground.
Roll the D8.
Okay,
Are you... Is that the same thing we had earlier?
a brown bear.
Okay.
Just appears?
Yup,
A brown bear emerges.
from the thing.
It immediately starts to shiver in the cold.
I'm sorry, no, bears are fine in the cold.
Some of them.
Brown bear will be fine.
Well, he's not going to die of exposure immediately. He does need to make a Constitution saving throw against the cold.
Well, Quatra, if you can make the jump, I can potentially ride on your back.
Yeah.
I don't weigh that much. Can
That's
I climb
fine.
up on here?
13.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's okay.
I have the ability to spend a chi point to have this thing called my Step of Wind,
It's key.
which means I can
Yeah,
jump.
I thought it was key as well.
It is key.
Are we sure it's key?
100.
No, but go for it.
Most people use key.
I think we should decide on chai.
I'll use my chai. I'll say Kai.
Oh my god.
That'll really get us some letters.
Just use something different every time.
Yeah, no one will ever get mad at you.
I'll just use different ones. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. We'll never get letters for that. All right, so I'll use my Kai to trigger what I learned in my temple, and it's called Step of the Wind, and it doubles my jump and allows me to. I think that's the right ability.
Yeah.
That's
that sounds
Step of the
right.
Wind. Okay. All right, so yeah, you can get on my back.
All right. And I get onto his back and kind of affix my arms and wrap around him.
So I stamp my boot on the ground, and wind rises up around me. And I focus my chai and take a great running leap.
Right before you leap, Phineas, you just catch as the wind is whipping around him. Man, it just reeks on this iceberg.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And you leap across. Go ahead and
It's just 1,000 farts swirling around me.
make an athletics check. You do have disadvantage because of the icy, slippery ground.
Yeah, bummer. Well, those were both real shitty rolls. Acrobatics?
Athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
7.
Okay. You smack your chest into the lip of the glacier on the other side, into the crevice. You start to reach and grab for it. Go ahead and make an athletics check with disadvantage to hold yourself on the slippery ground.
Okay, would it help if I use my elemental attunement to heat up my hands so that they, like, sink into the ice?
Yes, you can roll without disadvantage.
Okay.
Straight roll.
That's not that good. Acrobatics?
Or athletics, your choice.
8.
Okay. You dig your hands into, and immediately they melt, and you have no resistance. You're just like climbing onto butter, and you just begin to fall. What would you two like to do as you're falling towards the gnashing shark mouth?
Because it's at the bottom. Oh, good. As a reaction, I guess I'd like to, I'm on your back.
Yes.
So I don't have any magic that's really good. I don't have any, like, feather fall or anything like that. In how we're falling down, is it like a funnel where, like, the walls get tighter and tighter and tighter as we get all the way down?
A little bit. You're right against the wall of the one you just fell down. The nice advantage of how you fell is you're sort of tumbling down that wall.
Okay. As we're falling, I wrap my legs around his, like, the upper of his body and grab the tip of my lute and flip one of the switches at the top, and the top of the base of the lute pulls open, and my rapier pulls right out of the top of the lute, and I dig it into the ice wall to try to slow our descent.
Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Could it also be acrobatics?
It's not.
Damn
no.
it.
You're using strength to try to hold yourself. And
Straight roll, baby.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to say.
Yep.
It's not disadvantage. However, there is a number in my head where if you
I
don't...
have disadvantage, though.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm cold.
Fair enough.
Cold. Oh, that was such a good roll. That was a 17. Come on, baby. 13. Okay.
13 is enough to catch you. With your strength of legs, you don't have enough to... You have a choice.
Yeah, let go of me.
You can either hold on to Quatra and fall, or stay in place and release him.
Can I instead, I stay and he falls, or I slow us and I hold him? Like, we're still going down, but I'm slowing
You
us.
can slow yourself so you won't take any falling damage. You'll still be heading towards the shark's mouth, and you'll both get a chance to do something else before
That's
fall.
what I mean. I want to give us
Yes.
another chance where Quatra can potentially do something.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll choose to still hold him and then slow myself.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Jeez.
Well, unless the goat can't necessarily do anything about this.
Go die.
I'm just watching this happen. Like,
I do have a question.
Yeah.
So with my face step, it doesn't say I cannot do it in wild shape.
Huh. You're right. It probably doesn't. I'll allow it.
Because phase step is an ability?
Face step is an eladrin ability. I think
well
it's
then, yeah.
I think it's more fun if you can. So yes,
Yeah.
I will allow it.
Okay.
That's baller.
Okay.
Badass.
How are they falling?
Slowly, they are dragging down the side of this ravine with the rapier, sort of like slowing their descent
Is
through the
the
cavern wall.
opposite wall reachable?
Nah, it's close. You would
Okay.
basically need, if you formed a chain between the two of you, you could. It's not reachable if
What
you're on one side and you can't grab the other with your other
What if
hand.
I do like Jean-Claude Van Damme splits?
Maybe.
So how big is the gap?
If you swung backwards and put your feet and I have the blade, we could potentially
I'll
stop
say it's about 20 feet at the top and 15 feet at the bottom.
Okay, and did we decide that as a goat, because goats can climb on walls? Like you've seen, like they like.
Mhm.
Can I climb on walls?
You can try. There's a roll required, but you can try.
I will teleport directly below them on the wall.
Okay. Go ahead and let's have you guys make a group dexterity to try to aim.
Save.
Let's call it a acrobatics, actually, and I will say that it will have Quatra roll it with advantage because you're getting assistance from her being below you and kind of aiming herself for where
Okay.
you're falling.
But I won't get advantage.
You're not rolling; it's just him.
20.
Yeah, you land onto the back of the goat and you hold on to Phineus to keep him from falling, and the three of you are in place. The shark's mouth is just gnashing below you, unable to reach you.
As a large creature, can I make my way up carrying them?
Make an acrobatics check.
Can I use my athletics?
No, because it's not a matter of how high you can jump, it's about how carefully you can jump. You do also have disadvantage because you're cold.
Althea, do you have a rope?
Oh, wait, go ahead.
Those are both 10s, and I don't add anything.
Okay. Before we resolve that, I'm curious what Althea was going to
I
try
would
to
like
do.
to try. There's multiple parts to this.
Okay.
One.
You've had a few moments
Yeah.
of watching them fall to do this.
One, I take my rope, I tie it to a crossbow bolt.
Done.
Two, I shoot the crossbow bolt to the top of the other side of the ice wall.
Done.
Three, I get on top of the bear.
Okay.
Four, I tie the rope to myself. And five, the bear goes forward and jumps over the ravine
Okay. Athletics check.
on the bear.
Yep.
Okay.
How big of a bolt is that?
Well, it's only connected to me, not the bear.
Gotcha.
So unfortunately,
So we might be losing a bear.
Yes, unfortunately, we might use the bear. Lose
I was
the
going
bear.
to say, if that crossbow bolt's going to support you and a bear.
No.
No, absolutely not.
That is. It would need to be a ballista bolt.
Yeah.
It's disadvantaged because of the cold ground. Slippery terrain.
11.
11's enough to hit the side, and you can get across.
Oh, no.
Bye-bye, bear.
The bear begins to tumble.
Poor bear.
What did you get with yours? The 10?
I got a 10.
Okay, here's what happens. You begin to slip, and you begin falling towards the shark head, and as you're beginning to fall, you see its teeth clamp down on the bear, and its mouth is closed, and you land on its head. You three are standing on top of an undead shark head. It's also a very large shark.
Can I try to climb up one more time?
You can.
Still disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
Althea, drop the rope.
Yeah, I do that.
Yep.
I rolled a 19 and a 10. So,
Back
Okay.
to 10.
You jump up and you get them high enough where they can grab onto the rope, and then it gets a little easier for you. And
Okay.
with enough time and the fact that it is now chewing on this bear, you guys can climb up the rope, and the mountain goat, without the issue of time being a factor, can make its way up the ravine.
That's pretty gross because like there's just chewed up bear coming through the skeleton.
It's actually rolling down the ribs
Yeah.
into some other like chamber. Like it's rolling deeper into the iceberg.
Yeah.
R.I.P. bear.
I don't know what goat vomit looks like, no, but Ivy does now.
You make your way back to the top.
I pull out my crossbow bolt and my rope, and I start putting it back together.
Thank you, Althea.
Yeah,
Sure.
thank you. And thank you, Ivy. That was interesting.
And thank you, Ivy.
I bleed.
Oh.
And you begin to make your way up the iceberg. Welcome to Friday Night Quests. It's me, Mike Christensen, your host and also your dungeon master. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I'll get you right back to the action in just a very much moment. But first, just wanted to talk to you a little bit. First of all, happy holidays. It is currently Christmas Eve when you're hearing this episode, unless you're in the future, and it's not anymore. Unless it's so far in the future that it is again. In which case, Merry Christmas Eve. We have a drive going right now for iTunes reviews. Anything you can help would be terrific. If you can leave us a 5-star rating and review, those really help new people find the show. They populate to other feeds, so even if you don't use iTunes to get your podcasts, it actually really does help if it shows up on things like Podbean, and I can't remember any of the others, but they do show up on other sites, and they're really, really helpful. So anything like that would be great. If you use the word chosen in your review, we will read your name aloud on the air, and we will pick our favorite to give a bonus shout-out. That's right, I'm doing it again. Did you like it last time? Don't care, we're doing it again. And by the way, if you leave us a 5-star rating and review, that would be a wonderful Christmas gift for all of us. Or a Hanukkah gift for also any of us who celebrate that. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for listening. The next episode goes up in January on the 7th of the month. We will see you then. In the meantime, kick some ass and take some names. Maybe that's going to be my sign-off. I haven't really decided, but I like it. Bye. After another 10 minutes of hiking up this thing, you reach this fissure in the wall where the footsteps came out of. Mm-hmm. You head inside.
Yeah?
Yep.
Any light sources among you?
Yeah.
And follow-up question, who has dark vision?
I do. I have dark
I do.
vision, and I light a torch.
Okay. So you've got the torch.
Do you have
Yeah, I can only
low
see. I can only see as far as.
I know
Halflings just have regular
Oh.
vision.
Ivy has dark vision, but it doesn't say anything about the goat's vision.
The goat would not.
Okay.
The goat also probably would not fit through the fissure.
How long has it been since I turned?
10 minutes.
Sorry.
I dropped my goat form.
Okay. You now have dark vision.
Cool. I can see now.
Okay. But you
And
have the
I can only see as far as the torch, I guess. All of you have dark vision, don't you?
Yeah.
Damn.
I hold out my hand to Phineus.
Oh, thanks.
Aw.
Okay.
And you head into the fissure. The ground is slippery, but with slow going and careful movement. It's a little bit of a decline into the iceberg, but you're able to move carefully using each other's assistance. You make your way down this tunnel, down this passageway, and you emerge into a cold room. Dark, no light source, except in the center of the chamber there's this single globe. The room is rough, uncarved. It is a naturally occurring formation. The crystal in the center is smooth. It is artificial of some sort, and you can see the town of Narrowalk in it.
Like is it a globe-like stone?
It is a globe-like stone.
Like a polished globe stone. Mm.
Do we see a body?
Yes. As you look around the room, you see embedded in the ice, in one of the walls of the chamber, is the corpse, mostly still preserved thanks to the cold. And it doesn't seem like it's actually been that long. Based on the story you've heard, maybe about a month.
Do we
But-
see any other bodies in this room?
No.
Okay.
You do see something in the ceiling sort of beginning to take shape. There's sort of like armored fetus in the ceiling.
Ew.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not big on that.
It's still small. It's probably a little bit smaller than Phineus at this point.
Should we try to cut out the body?
Well, I think we should take something that would identify this person so we can show it to the Baron.
You hear a voice fill the chamber. You would deny me my vengeance.
Oh.
And even though it has no tangible form, you realize that this entity is very much present.
I'm going to say, I would restore to you true vengeance so that your killers would come to justice.
And your soul might be at peace.
What do you know of my plight?
I know that your Baron dispenses justice. Do you trust your Baron?
Make a persuasion check.
It's at like 11.
My Baron requires me. I am his right hand. We are weak. He is in a difficult position. I can save him.
Well, you're also dead.
Death cannot stop duty.
Debatable.
Is killing a 15-year-old boy part of your duty, knight?
He kept me from my mission.
He is a child.
He acted as a man. He shall suffer the consequences of a man.
He was forced to act like a man.
Who's the last person you're trying to get?
There is someone in the town. There is an agent. It may be the Baron's daughter herself. We must find the truth of this.
So you don't know who your third person is?
I will find my final target.
How?
Good question.
I will know them when I speak to them.
How does that work exactly?
Are you-
Like logic-wise?
Yeah, you're
like
just gonna go to like each person, like say, "Hi, my name is
If
this."
I
Can
must
you like walk us through that?
slay every person in that village to find them, I shall.
That's not really justice now, is it?
Yeah, it's not fair.
So it's Killfest 5000 is what you're saying. Let me ask you this, Knight. What were you doing for your Baron before you died?
I was routing out insurrection.
There were rebels?
There was a spy.
What if we found the spy?
What if we help you seek vengeance?
Make a persuasion check with advantage. Whoever one of you wants to.
What's
I can
yours?
Go you too. Oh, my persuasion's not that good.
Neither is mine.
I have very good persuasion.
Oh yeah, you
yeah, I'm
should-
negative
Yeah,
2
I
on
feel
that.
like it should probably be you, Phineas.
you say it, Phineas.
Yeah, Phineas, just add to it and you'll be able to roll. But what do you
Yeah.
say, Phineas?
Say fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah! He's like, damn, that's a good fuck yeah. I believe it.
I'm nudging you.
Yeah. Hey, tell him. Say some shit.
You're good at words.
A good knight knows when he's passed by his knightly qualities and his knightly duties. And someone who believes that they must kill an entire town to take down one agent doesn't deserve to serve the Baron as you've done before. And we're happy to take up that mantle for you, but you have to pass it.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Nat 20 on the
Nice.
first roll.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm pretty good at persuasion if I can roll a nat 20 on any time.
It's just like when little fucker was surrounded by Sheriff Naughty Pig's forces,
Yeah?
and Big Johnson saved him.
Man, I'm gonna have to turn this into a song. I've gotta get this story.
You hear a moment of silence pass, and then I will give you 24 hours. You normally would have 12, but I will stay my blade.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Just to confirm, 24 hours to do what?
Find the spy.
Okay.
Before we leave, before we agreed to do this, who does this belong to? And I point to the stone, the crystal in the center that shows the town.
It was here when I awoke.
Was anyone with it when you awoke?
No.
Are you being guided by anything other than your own will?
No, he says uncertainly.
Is that your body in the ice?
Yes. You also know the globe, by the way, is large. It's about 10 foot in diameter.
Oh, I was imagining like a little crystal
No,
ball.
it's large. It's each one of you could stand within it.
Oh.
Barony Knight, is there something personal that I could give to your family or the Baron to say of your fate?
I wrote a letter, and I was not able to deliver it.
Where is the letter?
It is on my person.
Okay, I'll walk over to the body and chip it out.
Mm-hmm. Takes a little while. And your
Okay.
hands are cold after the effort, but you can keep warming.
Yeah.
And
Well,
know.
maybe I can help warm
I
it
can
up.
literally press my hands against it
Oh.
because I can heat up.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you press your hands through, and
Mhm.
you reach the corpse, and you're able to find the letter. It's
Okay.
the same one that Phineas saw him writing.
Okay.
What information do you have on the spy that could help us locate it?
I know he or she or they is not one of the men responsible for my murder.
Do you know if the spy is human?
I am not certain.
What information were you working on?
Rumors, but information was... The Baron is being annexed by the nation of Talim. the Margrave would have his hand in marriage. But the Margrave knows things. Things about Narrowalk's lax practices towards the border to Mazra. This is being seen as a weakness. This is something that only they could know by virtue of spies. I know there's a member of the Sterling Stamp here. And some of you would have heard of the Sterling Stamp. It's a thieves' guild.
The spies in Narrowwalk?
Yes.
Any other information you can share with us and how that spy makes contact?
None that I have.
So if we find the spy, that your vengeance is wrought?
I would see the deed done, but yes, if you can,
Bring the spy to the Baron?
that would be acceptable.
All
As
right.
with my killers.
All right.
With one exception. The boy is excluded from this.
Yes.
Make a persuasion check.
Damn. It's only a 11.
Well, let me ask this. Is your Baron a just master?
Of course, I would serve no one else.
So would he show mercy to a young man who got caught up in something that he didn't know was going to be as evil as it was?
There's another moment of contemplation. Roll a persuasion check.
That's a 19.
I cannot speak to what my master would do, but I would trust his judgment.
Do we trust the Baron's judgment?
I would honor whatever the Baron chose to do.
So then it sounds like our agreement is this. You agree that if we find the spy, that you will leave the boy and this man alone and trust that we will take them to justice. Do we have agreement?
We have an accord.
I do have a question for you.
What's a bet?
Star wipe.
What's an agreement?
What would you recommend we say to know if the spy knows? I just want to make sure that there's like some kind of code or statement. You said you would know who the spy was once you saw him.
I am driven by a vengeance.
So would you recommend us pulling your name to see if that any recognition in their face?
Perhaps, if they were an informant of the Baron,
Do you think
or
they
of the Baron's political enemies.
Do you
this-
think they knew you were coming?
I think they covered their tracks when I was in town. Perhaps they think themselves safe.
It's the bartender, guys. It's Omar. Just kidding.
Yeah, let's jump kick him.
Maybe
Just
it is
drop kick
Omar.
everyone in town.
It's entirely possible.
I'd like to go up before we leave or anything, like get close to this giant crystal orb and try
Yeah.
to do an arcana check to see if there's like anything about it I can perceive. Not like it's not like detect magic, so I won't know like what type of magic it is, although I can guess since it's showing obviously the town.
Yeah,
I
Like-
want to do that too.
go for it.
Oh, 18. I'm sorry, I have a -1.
Is everybody allowed to do that?
Yeah,
How
anyone
about
wants.
13.
What are we rolling?
Arcana.
I have a 17.
Mine's a 6.
So, what was it, sorry?
13.
13, 6.
17.
9.
Okay. The 17, it's definitely some sort of divination magic. You see some of the people milling about in some of the same places. You see Snuggles tied to the side of the bar. You see your owl sitting at the side of the shore. It seems to be a live feed.
Is there any like residue of like any type of magic that I might like dark magic, good magic,
Without a
neutral
detect magic, you wouldn't know.
With my
Okay.
6, what do I think will happen if I touch it?
You'll think you'll go there.
I touch it.
And you don't go there. It's cold to the touch.
Okay.
From my 17, do I know like any other use for this thing other than just viewing the town?
Probably not. I mean, you think sometimes something like this could be used for transport, and then you see her touch it, and you think, oh, okay, never mind. Not this time.
Because it's so big.
It is big.
I want to ask the knight a question.
Mm-hmm.
I go, yes, so how do we actually get back to the town without having to go through this whole ice capades?
Yeah, are you still tied to a rope?
I mean,
No,
no, I left
no.
a rope at the shore.
I really don't want to have to jump over another ravine.
Is the knight jumping that ravine every time?
Yeah.
Does he know a shortcut?
It's easier downhill.
Okay.
I can be a goat one more time.
I would like to take a moment. So I see the entire city of Narrowwalk,
Yeah, the village, yeah.
the entire town.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a moment to observe like every house and see like, is there anything suspicious I see about any movements? Because I get an eagle's eye view.
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to join that too.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds great.
Do like a minority report on the town.
Make a, we'll call it investigation or insight, your
Okay.
choice.
All right.
23.
21.
Nice. I got a 15. No, I got an 18.
13 for me.
23. It's interesting. Both 21 and 23, you guys are examining the whole town. All of you are. And you're watching people come and go, and you're watching people going in and out of bars. And even when you were looking at a building, you can kind of almost see through it in a translucent sense. And you see at the Sea Horses establishment somebody crafting a saddle, or, you know, polishing a saddle. And then you see the woman inside their building opening up a compartment in that saddle and sliding a note in and closing it.
I think we found our target.
Let's go back.
All right.
ASAP.
Let's do it.
All right. Back
go
over
back.
the ravine.
All right.
Can we star wipe to the shore?
Yes.
It's easier, easier downhill.
It's easier downhill. Yeah, you all emerge shivering cold from the...
Poo-poo,
Prestidigitation.
poo-poo smelling.
you prestidigitation yourselves dry and less foul and fetid. What do you do?
Go to Sea Horses.
Okay. And by the way, for the audience, it's spelled S-E-E, comma, horses, exclamation point.
See?
I'm so
Horses.
excited to see these horses.
Yeah.
Look at them.
See? Horses.
I told you, okay?
Yeah, I told you.
So is the shop open?
No, it is closed. The livery is not currently
Oh,
open.
it's also super late.
It's midnight, yeah.
Oh.
But there is a light inside. It's just not open for business.
Do we see the lady?
Maybe we can sneak in.
I write a quick note and hand it to Gregory. Gregory, take this to Perrin. And then the bird, I assume, flies off.
What does the note say?
It's to be like, wait, things of, it's not safe to cross, wait for us. Because
Okay.
midnight was when he was going to want to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And actually,
so-
as you're thinking about that, you look at the wall, the city wall, and you see that the wall to Mazra is not currently manned.
Can we see inside Sea Horses?
Glass is a little cloudy.
if we want to be sneaky, I can help us be sneakier.
Mm-hmm.
So is that something we want to do?
You can turn into a caterpillar.
I can also make it so the whole group of us are difficult to see.
Ooh, that'd
where
be
is
great.
the saddle?
It must be indoors.
But so not where the horses would be kept.
Right.
I want to go to
Should
where.
I cast Pass Without a Trace?
Yes.
Okay, so I cast Pass Without a Trace.
What does it look like when you cast the spell?
When I cast it, like, just so I make sure, like, everyone's kind of, like, huddled around me. And, I, like, kind of wave my hands around everybody. And all the shadows just kind of, like, come around us, kind of cling to us. So we're more
Yeah.
difficult to see.
It's like anywhere where there's like shadow on your body, you can kind of see through you.
Oh,
Sort of-
cool.
I love Pass Without Trace.
It's a great spell. You all have to stay within 30 feet of her,
Correct.
Okay.
Easy enough.
but all right.
And
what would you like to do?
I sort of know whereabouts the saddle was and things. So if there's an entrance near where the saddle was, that's the entrance I want to try and get into.
Okay. How would you like to get through? You find a door, and there's also a window.
Is the door locked?
It is. Which is, you actually note is a little uncommon in this town.
Does anybody have a lockpicking set?
I can try to crack the lock.
Okay.
I don't have a lockpicking set, but my
You can-
sleight of hand's decent.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
14.
It's enough. Yeah, enough to get through the lock. What are you using to pick the lock, by the way?
I'm just using some of my my loot cleaning kit and stuff like that.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah. You open it and silently move in. Everyone roll a stealth check with a +10 from Pass Without a Trace. In addition to your
Are
ordinarily.
we still disadvantaged?
Those of you who failed the save, I would say no, because you're out now. You're out of the plane and you've
Got it.
been
It's not cold
prestidigitated.
anymore?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's cold, but it's not that cold.
17.
17. Bad roll, but I had the +10, so that's nice.
Oh.
Well, what'd you get?
I rolled a 2, but +2 for stealth and +10, so we're at 14.
15.
Is that with the pass?
gosh.
That's with
Yeah.
the +.
Man, we all rolled
Jeez.
horrible.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Thank God we had Pass Without Trace.
We were like falling into like an entire like shelf of pots and pans and fireworks.
Hello, who's here?
So you all.
I'm here inside your home.
Are you a spy?
So you all walk in, and mercifully the room is dark, so you are all nearly invisible, just like your bare outlines of color
I'm not a bear right now.
Boo. And you enter and you can see a light on in the other room.
Is there a window? I can see the light because there's a window?
No, it's coming from around the corner, and that's the room where you know the saddle was.
Oh, okay. Well, is there a door to the other room?
It's an open doorway.
I peer around the doorway to
Okay.
see what is on the other side.
What was your stealth total?
17.
Okay. They do not see you. Their back is to you.
Who is they?
You see a half-elven woman in her 30s.
They don't see me.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the woman who put the note in the saddle.
Yep.
Do we see the saddle like in the room we're in, or is it in the room she's in?
It's in the room that she's in. It's on the other side of the room from you.
I motion for Althea to come back to the other room because I assume you peeked around the corner.
I peeked around yeah, I only saw her and then I put my head back. So
there's a couple things we could do. We could try to knock her out. I could put her to sleep. We could, because otherwise I don't.
Ooh, can you put her to sleep? Yeah.
I can, but that's why I don't think we're going to be able to have like a regular conversation because we just broke into her house.
Yeah, no, I agree, which is why I think we need to put her to sleep.
Unless you guys think we should just...
Wait, she's elven?
Half-elven.
I don't think you're going to be able to put her
Oh,
to
yeah,
sleep.
you can't
It
put
might
her
be
to sleep.
difficult, yeah.
Why?
She's half elf.
They're like immune to sleepies.
You guys
Yeah.
are immune to... Oh, that's right. We already talked about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
We're going to have to kill her.
Oh, well, we
Oh.
can beat her up.
Well, I didn't... Isn't the whole point... Are we trying to figure out like who they're working
Yeah,
for?
aren't we supposed to take her to the Baron?
Take them to the
Oh,
Baron?
I thought we were supposed to kill her.
Wait,
I mean, we can knock her out and tie her up and
yeah,
bring
isn't
her to
it
the Baron.
possible to like hurt people without like hurting them?
Also, we're not entirely sure this is the person, the spy, right?
I'm
Oh,
pretty
we are.
sure it's
we,
the
at
spy.
this point, we are breaking the law.
Yeah.
At
Okay.
this very moment.
Yes.
We are breaking the law.
Okay, and
I'm just saying that we're not exactly in the right.
But
right
are
now.
we in the right if this is the spy?
yeah.
Yeah, that's.
So we gotta hope we're in the right, or we gotta also go to jail.
an
All right. So
ethical
who wants to
conundrum.
knock? Who wants to knock her out?
I mean, I can use magic to do it, unless she's got a lot of health. Then that's not gonna work very well.
I really don't think putting her to sleep will work.
Yeah. Well, we can't put her to sleep magically, so.
Yeah.
Let's just beat the shit out of her, and we'll knock her out because I can do that. Can DM?
Mm-hmm.
As a monk, can I apply my unarmed damage as non-lethal?
Yes.
I
It
can
doesn't
just-
necessarily mean that they'll be unconscious, but they'd be disarmed.
I thought non-lethal does make them unconscious.
That's how we played it in the last campaign, but I think you would just be like groggy and out of it and
oh,
you
okay,
know.
not knocked out.
not knocked out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So
That was a story that Phineas was telling.
Are
Yeah.
you?
yeah.
We don't know if it's necessarily real.
Are you sure we don't know? Are
no
you sure?
concentration didn't work very
Maybe
well.
we
want to
get like a surprise attack on her.
Mm-hmm. We're all whispering right now in the darkness.
Yeah.
Surprise,
Like
surprise.
perhaps if somebody were to able to hit her with something without her knowing it was coming.
Does anybody have a way to like snare her or tie her down?
I have a way. My water whip. I could pull
I
her
know how
into
to
this
do that,
room.
but I don't have that planned. Or I
I
can't do it
can-
right now.
I can shoot her from around the corner.
Well, why don't we get a rope ready so that we can tie her up when we knock her out, and then we'll. You said you saw something going into the saddle,
Yeah.
so we'll check that. And if it just so happens she's just putting traveling money in there, then we pretend we were never here. This goes against a lot of my ethical teachings from my temple, by the way.
I can tell you're really struggling with it.
I mean, I feel like we have a good plan now. So I can water whip her into this room, grab her and send her prone, and then you jump on her and tie her up.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Sounds good.
I can turn into a kind of a large animal.
Oh, and
Maybe
like
like-
and
Like
like
wrap-
grapple her?
Yeah.
Can you be
like a snake, like
Could
a
you turn?
giant
Yeah. Could you turn into a
snake?
snake?
I don't know. Let me see if I can turn a snake. 1 second. I was I was thinking ape, but I.
Oh,
can-
that's good. Yeah, grab her.
Apes grab.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I kind of like just turn into an ape.
I would suggest we stand back
Mhm.
for her to be water whipped back here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna take a step back.
Yep.
So I come around to the corner into the doorway, and I make a whipping motion with my hand, and I've got these like mackerel tattoos that run up, and they actually twist and move like they're like swimming.
On your inner arm.
Yeah, on my inner arm when I do that, and a thin whip of water lashes out, and I have to figure out what that does.
I think
know
given the circumstances that she's not facing you, doesn't know you're there, and that you have a complete jump on her, I don't really need you to worry about rolling on
Okay.
this. You are a little bit of a superhero, and she doesn't know you're there.
Okay.
So yeah, you're able to whip her into the room where you
So
are.
yeah, wraps around her leg, and I whip her, and she comes dragging into the room.
Yeah,
And she takes a bunch of bludgeoning damage that I hope that I can make non-lethal.
I think you can, given the
Okay,
circumstances.
so it's 3d10. Do you want to make a dexterity?
Oh my
save?
god!
I rolled a natural 1.
Okay.
3d10?
Yeah.
My God.
Do you hit her with
Jesus
like a tidal
Christ.
wave and pull her in?
So she takes 13.
She's
non-lethal.
unconscious.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, she's not unconscious, but she's like groggy
Yeah.
and
So
bleary.
basically, it's if you pulled her in and she hit the door frame like full speed on
Yeah.
the way in.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
She hit the table, floor, and door frame.
Yeah.
On the
So
way.
many things.
And
I
dragged her in.
awkwardly grab her with my ape arms.
Yeah, and I run into the next room to get the note from the
Yeah,
saddle.
Althea, check it.
It is a note that remarks on how the killer continues to menace this town and how they must need new leadership. It refers to how the killer keeps, attacking 3 times in 2 days. It is information on Narrowalk.
Like it seems like it's a spy.
Like it's a spy letter?
Seems to be.
Oh, okay.
It seems to be in line with what they were describing in the
Oh, okay.
in Carson's letter.
Great, cool. I store
Yeah,
the
that-
letter,
That's evidence.
and we should then tie her up.
I'm holding her with my giant ape arms.
You do so.
Okay.
Let's take her to the Baron then.
Okay.
Okay.
As you all venture out into the town and you're heading towards the trading post, back to, I assume, get
Yeah.
some rest for the night and head out, you're passing by the beacon fire in the center of town, and you see the flames suddenly stop and sort of dim, and then they reignite and the colors have changed. No longer do you see the blue and orange that you associate with the barony. You now see a fire that is green. Green flames with a golden lily in the center. The symbol of the nation of Talim. Someone new is in charge. Thanks for listening to Friday Night Quests. Your heroes will return in 2 weeks. Ivy is played by Amanda Joy Condon. You can follow her on Twitter and Tumblr at Amanda Joy. That's spelled Joy. Althea is played by Hilary Levi, who is on Twitter at Hilary Levi. Phineus is played by Jay Jones, who can be found on Twitter at JAwesomeJones and on the podcasts Roll the Seas and Wrath and Glory. Quatra is played by Jeremy Fox, who can be found on Twitter at JLeeFox. Special thanks to Khyle Fryer for composing our theme song. You can follow him on SoundCloud for other totally radical music. This episode also included music by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. You can find the track listing and credits in the show notes. This episode also included ambient sound from tabletopaudio.com. Photos and character art can be found on the show notes on partialarc.com. And while you're there, you should check out some of our other podcasts. I recommend Wrath and Story, a hilarious RPG show set in the Warhammer 40k universe. If you have any questions about the show, you can email us at FridayNightQuests@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr at partialarc. Thanks for listening, and until next time, play fair and have fun.